God, what's happening? Am I doing a Q&A? Yes, I am. What are some of the things that YouTubers say before they start a Q&A? I haven't done this in a while. I just want to connect with you guys. But you know what? It's true. I realize now, looking into the viewfinder, that it's a very awkward spot for the microphone to be because it's very penis shaped. Well, whatever. So I asked you guys a few days ago to send me questions, and I specifically asked you for personal questions. So I selected a few of them and I'm gonna answer them. Why'd you want to be asked personal questions? Do you want to create a scenic mask answering such questions in a not true way? Or do you need to tell the truth to unknown people to cope with some bad memories or feelings inside of yourself? Or a third variant, do you want a certain man or woman to hear your answer to such a personal question? And some people are so annoying. You know what, dude? It's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Okay, there's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus goes over 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up. What do you do? What do you do? I don't know. I'm 25 and I still can't drive. I don't have my license yet and I can't drive for shit. Have you ever dated a woman? No, I've never dated a woman and I won't ever date a woman, I want to say. But hey, I made out with plenty. What's the worst pain, emotionally and physically, you've ever felt? Physically, it was when I removed my wisdom teeth. I removed 2 at a time, and holy shit, do you think I have chubby cheeks now? You don't even know the size of my cheeks when I removed my teeth, okay? I was up the whole night staring at the clock, I was waiting for the time that I was allowed to take more painkillers because I just couldn't deal with it. And emotionally, it was definitely like 4 months after my mom passed away. She passed away last year, March last year. And holy shit, depression is the worst thing ever. I think out of all of them, this was the most asked question ever. Are you single? And yes, I am. No, I'm not. I am, but no, I'm not. Oh, hey, Nirvana never dies. I love growing weed. What's your opinion on marijuana and do you smoke it? I think weed is awesome. I think marijuana is an awesome plant. You can do so many cool things with it, including medicine, but I can't stand it. I don't smoke it. I have smoked in the past, but I just don't like the feeling that it gives me. I'm already like an introverted person, and I feel like every time I smoke, I become even more introverted, so I can't talk to anyone. And I swear to God, every time I smoke, I feel the bones in my feet wiggling like this. And there is an image delay that I always see, I guess, when I smoke. Like if I run my hand across my vision, there is a delay of the image, like 3 or 4 other hands that follow mine. And that is just way beyond the feeling that I want to feel when I smoke. So no weed for me, thank you. Sexual orientation. If sexuality is a spectrum and this is 100% straight, I'm like right here. What do you love and value most in people? Who and what actions cause respect and admiration? I guess what I love and admire most in people is their ability to keep their desires and impulses under control. And that's something I try to do with myself, and that is the hardest thing you will ever do, I think. Are you dating the girl from Halo Scene? Addie! Oh, I'm not gonna lie, don't tell Brad, but I would do anything to date her. How was school growing up? I went to an awesome school growing up. It was very artsy, and it was perfect for me because I've always been like the emo weird kid that was into music and metal and rock, but somehow I survived. I never got bullied at all. I was very lucky. And it was just an awesome school. It's such a good community of like artsy people. Everyone smoked weed in my school, and if you didn't, you were just into the arts, and everyone talked to everyone. There weren't really those tight groups that you don't feel welcome in, I guess. But I loved that place. What is your perfect first date? And do you like sushi? I love sushi. Let me think. My perfect first date. It's gonna sound very nerdy, but I would love if you're gonna take me out, we could meet up for lunch at a nice place, not fancy or anything. And then right after that, we could go to a museum, look at some art and some sculptures and some history. I find it really interesting to see how people react, I think, when they are in museums or art galleries. I think it's just cool, not in a douchey, obnoxious way. I just think it's awesome going to museums and talking about these beautiful things that we're seeing and this old history, and even making fun of it and talking about life and stuff. And then, of course, we could go for some coffee and then come back to my place, rip my clothes off, and What turns you on during foreplay? Choke me with that dead cat. What's the hardest lesson you've gone through? Well, losing my mom at 24 was the worst, hardest thing I had to go through. And it did teach me a lot about my emotions, my own responsibility towards my body and my mind and my well-being, and the amazing network of people that I have that I can rely on, like my family and my friends. And just, learning how to live without your mom, that's something. What do you do when you find it hard to sleep at night? I know you're expecting me to say that I masturbate every time that I can't sleep, which might be true for like 5% of the times that I can't sleep, but the thing that helps me in any situation whatsoever, it's ASMR. Like, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the art of ASMR. Do you live in a house or an apartment? And do you live alone or with someone else? And what's your favorite horror movie? Well, I live in an apartment. I share this apartment with my cousin. And what's my favorite horror movie? I guess right now I would have to say it's Suspiria 2018. Or if you count that as a horror movie, The Lighthouse. Oh my God. How old were you when you had your first boyfriend? I was 14. And it was an awesome relationship. I was dating my best friend. He was the guitarist in my very first band. And we're friends to this day. Have you dealt with inappropriate or aggressive messages that often comes when you become famous on YouTube or the internet? How do you deal with it? Dude, you have no idea. I think the only way that you can deal with it is, as soon as possible, sign a mental contract with yourself and realize that as soon as you put yourself out there for other people to see, for the whole world to see, there's a whole spectrum of people that are going to have direct access to you. And just don't take anything personal, for the love of God, the good and the bad. I think the worst message I've ever received was an email that said that my mom was being raped in hell. I do appreciate the almost reference. The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies ever. But oh my God, just don't think about it, literally. And if you read the most outrageous things about yourself, don't take it personally, because that person who is attacking you on the internet, they must be going through some shit, okay? It's almost as if like a tiny 5-year-old came up to me and said, "You can't sing for shit." It's just funny because poor thing, that little dude is just so young and inexperienced that I can't take what he's saying personally. So just laugh about it. What's your favorite food to eat when it's that time of the month? Well, When blood is pouring down my vagina, the only thing that I need is a big cookie filled with Nutella and some hot tea. And it also helps that my dog likes to be spooned when we sleep, so she's like right next to my belly and she's so warm that it really helps with my cramps. Do you have a family member who has inspired you to pursue music? If yes, then how did they inspire you? If no, then how did you discover your amazing talent? I was pretty lucky because my mom, she was also very much into music. Whenever we were driving somewhere, we would listen to either, it was like the magic trio for me. It was the Beatles, Stevie Wonder, and Michael Jackson. And she would always push me to have some sort of musical ability. She would always push me to sing, to play instruments, not because she wanted me to become a musician, but just because she thought it was a very precious skill to have. And my dad is actually a pretty accomplished jazz drummer, which was awesome growing up because I had all of these different musical influences. So I guess I can say that both of my parents were the main source of inspiration for me when it comes to music. Has there been any regrets with any of your life decisions, career or otherwise? The biggest mistake I've ever made in my life was signing that fucking contract. Guys, take it from me. Hire a good damn lawyer to go over all of the contracts you ever sign in your life. Are you in a relationship with Anthony Vincent? Wouldn't you like to know? What would you say your greatest achievement is so far? I would say meeting and working with both of my main producers slash co-writers, Toby Wright and Brian DMR, and actually being able to call them friends. Like the stuff that these guys did back in the 90s are so inspirational to me, and they're so talented and they're such good people, and working with them has definitely been the high point of the year. Did you have low confidence when you were younger? How do you get past it? I mean, of course, who doesn't? I had zero confidence. I was insecure about my weight, the fact that you can see my veins around my whole body, but mainly my face. I was insecure about my chubby cheeks, so much my hair. And I mean, what can you do? I don't know. Like, I wasn't even bullied for it. It was just me comparing myself, I guess, to all of these magazines and movies I was seeing with all these beautiful women, which isn't fair at all. Do you ever feel depressed, or have you ever experienced any depressing times in your life? If so, how did you get over it? Oh my God, have I? Like right after I lost my mom, not right after, it took me a couple of months, well, 4 months to be exact, to actually feel the impact of not having her anymore. And it was like if I didn't have control over my body or my brain anymore. I've dealt with suicidal thoughts. I was bedridden. It was rough. It was a very, very low, dark point in my life. And then I started, going to therapy and exercising and doing meditation. And I realize now that, well, not now, I did realize this back then, that holy shit, am I lucky. I'm a fucking YouTuber. I'm a musician on the internet. I am lucky enough to be able to work from home. I have a family. I have friends. I have money to pay for therapy and a gym, and all of the support that I need. I got it, and it was still the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. And it sort of opened Pandora's box in my head to just how lucky and privileged I am. Like, I know the word privilege has been very used lately, and it has become sort of a meme, but oh my God, am I privileged? And I just think about all of the people who went through much worse than I have, having way less, and they still survived and they still made it. So I can't commend those people enough. And I don't know, I just feel lucky. Do you support the struggle with fitting into society that we combat veterans go through, sometimes on a daily occurrence? Also, where do you stand on the social responsibilities of providing resources for depression, specifically to try and reduce suicide? Well, I'm not educated enough on veterans' lives after combat or during combat, but the only thing I can say is that if the government has the resources to traumatize you for a cause that they deem worthy, they should have the resources to help you cope with all of the trauma that you've experienced. Do you know American Sign Language? I signed my brother, who is autistic, your covers for him, and he loves it. He really likes your voice and loves when you do Linkin Park songs. That's so cute. No, I don't know American Sign Language. I wish I did because I find it so beautiful. But I'll tell you this, the only thing that I do know how to sign is that Paul McCartney song, My Valentine, that I used to be obsessed with when it first came out, and I sort of memorized the gestures, I think. So let me know if I get it wrong. What if it rained? We didn't care. She said that someday soon the sun was gonna shine. And she was right. This love of mine, my Valentine. I'm gonna cry. Okay, well, these are all the questions that I selected from the ones that you guys sent me. I'm sorry if I didn't reply to yours. But hey, let's do more videos like this in the future, shall we? So I don't know how to sign off, but I know. Leave me a joke in the comments down below so I laugh. I know people say that I don't smile enough, so maybe that will make me smile. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.